Hey first grade, happy Tuesday. I hope you had a really good long 4-day weekend and you're ready to start this week off. So in math this week we're going to be talking about solving word problems, and we're also going to talk about the strategy of the month for our math facts, which is doubles plus 1. Okay, so let's start by doing a little number talk with doubles plus 1. Alright. So if I have a number sentence like this, we can use something called the doubles plus 1 strategy to help us solve it. Okay? So with the doubles plus 1 strategy, you can only use it when the numbers that you're adding are only 1 apart. So like 2 and 3 don't have a number in between them. If I was counting 1, 2, 3, they come one after the other. So I can use the doubles plus 1 strategy here. What you do is pick the smaller number, so in this case it's 2, and you double it. This is why we worked on doubles earlier this year, so that you could use this strategy. So double 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then add 1 more. What is 1 more than 4? 5. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Using the double plus 1 strategy, we were able to figure it out. The reason we added 1 more to 4 is because since we did 2 plus 2, well, 3 is actually 1 more than 2. So when we do 2 plus 2, we get 4, but we have to add 1 more since 3 is 1 more than the 2 that we added. Okay, so the double plus 1 strategy is just doubling the smaller number and adding 1. Let's do another one. Four plus 3. Okay, if I'm going to solve this problem using the double plus 1 strategy, first I'm going to look at my smaller number. The smaller number is 3. I need to double 3. 3 plus 3 is, what is 3 plus 3? We should know this by memory. 3 plus 3 is 6. And then we need to add 1 more since 4 is 1 more than 3. What is 6 plus 1 more? 6 plus 1 is 7. So 4 plus 3 is 7. If I wanted to check it, I could do a little picture. 4 and 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's correct. So remember, double plus 1, get the smaller number, double it, and add 1 more. Let's do 1 more for today. Pause the video for a second and think about how you would solve this using the double plus 1 strategy. Okay, so take the smaller number, 1, and double it. What is 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1 is 2. And then add 1 more. What is 1 more? 1 more than 2 is 3. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, that's the double plus 1 strategy. We'll work some more on it as we go. But for now, let's move on to our word problems. And hang on just a minute, because I think I may have dropped one of my word problems on the floor. Maybe not. I'm not seeing it. Oh well, we'll just do what we have. Okay, here's the first word problem. Flor painted some pictures. Yvette painted 10 pictures. When the girls were finished, they had created 18 pictures. How many pictures did Flor paint? This is a little more challenging than something we have done. That's because this week we're going to focus some on finding the missing addend. So let's see how we do that. First, we're going to do something called apps check. Apps check is just a way to help us solve the word problem and stay organized. So here's kind of what it looks like. For the A, we start with A. A stands for analyze. Analyze means that we're going to look at the problem and figure out the important information. So the first thing I want you to do is listen to me read this problem again and see if you can figure out what the question is that we need to answer. Flor painted some pictures. Yvette painted 10 pictures. When the girls were finished, they had created 18 pictures. How many pictures did Flor paint? All right, the question that we need to solve here is, how many pictures did Flor paint? Okay, that's the question. So we're going to circle the question mark because that's what we need to answer. We underlined it and circled. Now, listen to each sentence and see if you can hear some important things that we may need to know. Flor painted some pictures. Well, here, the word some is important because it helps me to know that that part's missing. Some doesn't tell me a number, it just tells me there's some, but I don't know how many. So some helps me to know something's missing. Flor painted some pictures. Yvette painted 10 pictures. What's important there? 10 is important. When the girls were finished, they had created 18 pictures. What's important there? 18. How many pictures did Flor paint? Okay, so I've got my information. Now we're going to make a plan. Do you think I'm adding or subtracting in this problem? Well, let's figure out what the number sentence would be. So if I know, you know what, let's make a little diagram. Okay, it's a part-whole diagram. So I know total, the girls had 18 pictures. I know that Flor painted some of them. I don't know how many some is. I just know some. So that's a question mark. And Yvette painted 10. I'm trying to figure out how many did Flor paint. So that's kind of what my problem looks like. Okay. The equation that we're going to be solving is Flor painted something plus Yvette's 10 equals 18. Okay? So we've got to figure out how many some is in this problem. Something, plus 10 equals 18. Now to figure this out, even though this is a missing add-end problem, whenever you start with a whole and you have a part and you're trying to figure out the other part, you can subtract to figure out the answer. So we can actually do 18 minus 10 to help us get the answer. So let's solve this problem and see if we can figure it out. I'm going to use my counters to solve this. If you have counters at home, you can get your counters too. You may want to pause to go grab those. Okay, so I'm going to put out 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so here's my 18. This is how many pictures the girls had when they had finished with their painting. Out of these 18, I know that 10 of them were Yvette's. So I'm going to take away 10 because I know 10 were Yvette's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, take those away. How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 18 minus 10 is 8. All right, the last box of apps check is a check mark because here we're supposed to check our work. So how I'm going to check it this time is actually putting in my work into this number sentence and seeing if it makes sense because I had a missing add-in that I had to figure out. I said the answer was 8. Let's see if that makes sense. So here we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I add 10 to it, do I get 18? So we have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I add these 10, will I have 18? Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's right. So I checked my work. First, when I solved it, I took 10 away and got 8. And then when I checked it, I put my 8 in my missing add-in spot and did 8 plus 10, and I still got 18. So I know how many pictures did Flora paint? She painted 8. All right? Okay, let's do another problem, and this is going to be our last one. Let me clear my board first. All right, here it is. Mrs. Clark has 12 apples. Her students give her 6 more apples. How many apples does she have altogether? Okay, let's analyze the problem first. What is the question that we're trying to answer here? Listen to the problem again and listen to the question. Mrs. Clark has 12 apples. Her students give her 6 more apples. How many apples does she have altogether? All right, the question that we're going to be solving is, how many apples does she have altogether? That's the question. How many apples does she have altogether? Okay, now let's look for important information. Listen to each sentence. Mrs. Clark has 12 apples. What's important in that sentence? 12 apples. 12. Her students give her 6 more apples. What's important in that sentence? 6 more is important. If I'm getting more, that means I am adding. Okay, now let's make a plan. So if I have 12 apples and my students give me more, am I adding or subtracting? If I'm getting more, I'm adding. So this is an addition problem. 12 plus 6 equals how many? Okay, so we are going to be solving 12 plus 6. And I can write this equation like this, or I can write it like this. Or I can write it where the answer is first, and then 12 plus 6. You can write this number sentence anyway. No matter how I write it, though, I'm still trying to figure out what is 12 plus 6, because I'm trying to figure out how many apples I have now. Okay, so let's use some counters. First, I need 12. All right, before I move on and add anything else to this, I want to count it to make sure that I built the first add-in correctly. That way I don't mess up. So let's make sure this is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now I need to add 6 more. When I have different add-ins, I like to use the different colors of the counters. That way it helps keep the add-ins separate. So let's add 6 more in red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we're trying to figure out 12 plus 6, so we need to add these together. Let's count and figure out what the sum is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 12 plus 6 equals 18. When I was counting these, did I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4? Did I have to count 12 here? No, because I already knew that this was 12. I had already double checked it. So instead of taking all my time to count these again, I could just say 12 and then go 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That just makes it a little quicker. Okay, now to check our work. I'm going to check my work this time using a hundreds chart. Okay, so we were at 12 and we needed to add 6. So I'm going to count forward 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ended at 18. Was 18 the answer I got? Yep. So, can we answer this question now? How many apples does she have altogether? 18. Alrighty guys, I'll see you tomorrow for our math lesson. Bye.